I'm not in my usual podcasting area or my office because a lot of times I record episodes as soon as the energy or the idea strikes me. Okay. Hey, really quick interruption to this episode. If you're struggling to lose weight and you're over 40, your metabolism is not broken. You just need a strategy that works for your body now. Join my 3-day metabolic kickstart. It's a fast, focused way to get your energy up, inflammation down, and fat loss moving. You'll also get a metabolic mapping call for free. That's a one-on-one call with me to figure out exactly what your body needs next. Grab your spot at the link in the show notes. And I just did a coaching call with clients, and I thought, I have to talk about this with you because this is something I think can feel abstract when you hear it. And in a lot of ways, people talk about it in a very abstract way, but I want to kind of break it down. And that is the gap between intention and identity. Now, again, before you roll your eyes and think, oh, great, like Lori's getting all woo on us today, hang in here with me. All right. Because I promise you, I am going to make this simple. I'm going to make it practical. I'm going to make it real life. When I started my own health journey years ago, and I mean when I like really was wanting to focus on it, but I hadn't actually made the right shift yet. So I don't mean 11 years ago when I started my health journey. I mean probably 6 to 8 years even before that. I had so many good intentions. I thought things like I am going to lose this weight. I'm going to stop sabotaging myself. I'm going to get stronger. I am going to be confident again. I'm going to work out regularly. I'm going to. But here's what kept happening to me, and it happened to me over and over for years. My intentions were there. I would set goals. Like I said, I had the best intentions, but my actions did not follow. I'd end up back in the pantry or the freezer. That was a big one for me. Like the nightly bowl of ice cream. Sometimes, and get ready for this. Sometimes, well, actually on a weekly basis, that nightly bowl of ice cream was devoured as I watched The Biggest Loser and set more intentions about how I was going to do it this time. Or they would I'd end up like skipping the exercise program that I had outlined for myself again. God, I can remember so many times starting running or starting lifting weights. And I'd skip a day after having the best intentions and setting goals and all this stuff. And then a day would roll into two or a week or then a month. And then, and you know the story 6 months later, right? And then I'd get into the promises. And it would be like, I'll start again on Monday. I'll start again after summer. I'll start again after the holidays. And for a while, that pattern I took as me being weak or somehow defective. Like there was something broken in my brain. I thought that I couldn't be normal. And I'm using air quotes if you're listening on one of the podcast platforms because in my brain, being normal meant being able to stay at a healthy weight and being able to exercise regularly and not have to like think about it. Like I wanted to be like one of those women. And so somehow when my actions didn't continue to follow through, I thought I have to be broken. Like there's got to be a disconnect in my brain. I've got to be defective. But that was not the problem. The real issue was my identity. It was the way I saw myself, like really deep down inside. And I don't even believe now that I was fully aware of this deep down identity that I was hanging on to. But deep down, I was still the woman who never stuck with her diet. I was the one who is always going to be fat. I'm the one who is always going to be on a diet or struggling with my weight. I'm always going to be the one who gains it back. So even though I would set goals and I would have these intentions of this shiny new start, this fresh start, my brain kept dragging me back to that old identity of the woman who struggles and is the fat girl. And let me say this, I still have to practice these things today. 10, 11 actually years now into my real start of my actual change and journey, I can still sometimes struggle with these things. It shows up as a struggle in different ways. They're different kinds of struggles. Maybe now it's not the nightly bowl of ice cream or standing and, eating half a bag of chips late night in the pantry, but it's about putting off a workout like today. It's 11:30 as I record this, and I have not walked. I have not done any kind of workout. I had the best intention this morning, and then my schedule got thrown off, and I'm putting it off. I even put it off to record this episode because I wanted to get this recorded for you. So it just shows up differently. Maybe it's about, for me now, the struggle is about like avoiding something that maybe is a little uncomfortable in my business. So the old identity still tries to creep back in. But now when that happens, I know when I say your brain doesn't act on the intentions, like I know that to be true. It acts on identity. Now I know that. And so logically, you could probably get what I'm saying, right? Like you understand on an analytical level, like what I'm saying. But if you're thinking, well, what the hell does that actually mean for me in real life? You're not alone in thinking that either. It can sound almost like this concept that's like floating in the clouds, right? So let me kind of break it down. Your brain is wired to stay consistent with who you believe you are. And sometimes, again, you're not fully aware of who you believe you are, but your brain is wired to stay consistent with that belief. So if you believe that you're the woman who is addicted to sweets, who cannot give up candy or cannot give up whatever kind of sweets, right? Then even if your intentions are set on eating better, healthier, clean, whatever, your brain is going to pull you back to match the identity that you have, the belief you have that you cannot give up sweets. If you see yourself as the woman who's like too busy to take care of herself right now, then even though you set goals and you have the best intentions to do differently, your brain is going to create reasons and be so sneaky and so creative in doing this. It's going to create reasons that have you skip your workout or have you grab, takeout or drive through instead of what you intended, quote unquote, to eat that's healthy this evening. So if you identify as someone who never follows through or whatever that is, then your brain's going to continue to run that script, keep you on autopilot every single time, especially when things get tough, especially when there's stress in your life, especially when your adult kids are acting like assholes, especially when your boss is being an idiot, especially when deadlines are looming. When things are tough, your brain is going to autopilot and default to act and run on that script of who you believe you are, right? You're going to hold to that character that your brain has you playing in life. So it's not that you don't want to change. It's not that you lack willpower. It's that your brain is doing what brains do. It's science. Your brain is keeping you loyal to the story that you've been telling yourself about who you are. And this is why intentions by themselves do not work. The shift is not asking yourself, what do I need to do? That's not the shift. The shift is asking yourself, who am I choosing to be? And more specifically, it's who am I choosing to be in this very moment? Not tomorrow, next week, 6 months from now. Who am I choosing to be in this very moment? Because when you begin to change that identity, even by a portion of a degree, your brain starts to behave differently. Your choices shift, your actions shift, and by God, then your results also shift. And this does not have to be about this gigantic leap and these huge changes and overhauling everything. You don't go from I never follow through to being a marathon runner overnight. Trust me, you don't. But you can shift to I'm the woman who keeps small promises to myself. I'm the woman who moves her body because I want to feel good. Or I'm the woman who values her health enough to put herself on the list today. And here's what I want you to sit with from all of this. Ask yourself, what's the one old identity that I'm still carrying around that does not fit who I am becoming? Is it that you're still carrying around that you're the woman who starts over on Monday? Or are you sitting with the identity of someone who can't handle a lot of stress? Or maybe you're sitting with this identity of the woman who will never be comfortable and be able to love her body. Ask yourself, what is that identity that you're carrying around? Call it out, write it down, say it out loud, and then decide, who do I choose to be instead? And that's not pie in the sky, that's not woo. Who do I choose to be instead? Because you've got to remember that intentions do not set the direction. Well, all they do is set the direction. Let me put it that way. All they do is set the direction. Intentions set the direction, but identity, the belief you have about who you are, that determines whether you will actually walk the path. So if you feel like you've been spinning your wheels, starting over, nothing's working, it's not because you're weak. It's not because you lack willpower. It's because your brain is just, it's trying to be loyal to who you've told it you are. So in that way, it's your fault. You created the story that your brain is stuck to being loyal to. The character that you have in your head of who you are, your brain is going to live by that. So you change that story, you change that character, you change that identity, and everything else will change with it. And here's the beauty. Again, you don't have to change it all overnight. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to start practicing the shift. One moment, one choice, one identity at a time. That's it. That's it. And that's what I have for you today. I hope it was helpful. Shoot me a message. Instagram, Facebook, an email, rate the podcast, write a comment under the podcast, but let me know if there was some kernel of takeaway that was helpful for you today. Thanks for being here with me, and I will see you right back here next time.